Hello everyone, my name is Vitor Lopes, and today I will talk about inclusion and exclusion and how it's a part of our society, and sometimes we don't even see that. First of all, I will tell a story that shows how exclusion works in our society. When I was younger, I thought that I had never been excluded from society because in my school I've never been excluded, and even in my new school everybody always included me. Although one thing happened that made me change my point of view about it, and I'll tell you that this episode now. This story is recent and happened with me and my mother in front of my new school. So, when my mother was going to stop in the space available for me, a woman has stopped her car there, left her child at the school, and waited for her to enter into the school. When we were going to talk to her, she just ran away and ignored us because she thought that was right, and what she has done did not interfere in another's life. At the moment, I remembered a class that a teacher taught us what corruption is, and I noticed how corrupt, hypocrite, and selfish a person can be. How minorities like me can be excluded from society and don't even see that. How people do things and attitudes that they think are small can be a clear example of exclusion. If you still don't understand the meaning of exclusion, I'll tell you. As it can be found in dictionaries, exclusion refers to a process of removal and deprivation of certain individuals or social groups in various spheres of structures of society. You should be questioning yourself, why I'm telling that story? So, this story shows my reality. This story shows the reality of my city, shows the truth of my country, shows the truth of Brazil. Maybe it never happened in your country, or maybe you never noticed that we can exclude someone from society. But it always happens in Brazil, and people still doing that, and still don't understanding that they are segregating the society. To make it clear and show how exclusion is a serious trouble in Brazil, if you search on Google exclusion in Brazil, the first two options that appear are social exclusion in Brazil and financial exclusion in Brazil. It shows that's really important trouble, and people look for it, but Brazilian people is still doing that and still don't see that it is in our lives. Every time I use a handicap, or every time I take a bus, there is someone in the place that should be mine. And it happened not just with me, but also with with pregnant women, with women who is holding a baby, with black people, with people from LGBT group, with people from different religious group, with old people, and everyone who has the right by law, but the laws not followed by the others, and it makes us feel like our right was taken from us. The social problem is pretty deeper than you think, because it does not affect just me, but all society. It can affect the one who was excluded, it can affect the one who practiced the exclusion, and even the people who do not do anything. But how? Apparently, that problem affects a lot of people in the society. Those who were excluded will feel with no rights and totally repressed. And the worst part of that is the fact that they will never understand that they are being excluded from the society. On the other hand, those who practice the exclusion will always think that are right and will never stop because they think that are not doing something bad or disturbing the society. And those who did not do anything will see the example of exclusion and will think that's the right thing to do. Although it usually happens with children. But the true problem is all of this create a cycle that's really difficult to break. My kind of exclusion is the special needs, and not include just my kind of deficiency, the physical one, but also the visual, hearing, and mental deficiency. And the exclusion can affect in a lot of parts of the society. Can affect in the school, in the job, while you were doing a test, and even when you were looking for a job. Last year, 2017, exclusion was the theme of an essay in a national academic exam in Brazil called the name. The specific theme was challenges for the educational training of deaf people in Brazil. They choose this problem because it's really serious and at the same time really forgetful by the society. And the state is looking for ways to solve it, to make people remember that problems like this exist, to make people care about exclusion, to make that people included in the society and make them feel like a part of that. I showed how exclusion is my society, but how can we break that cycle? How can we soften that problem? Well, it's not that easy to solve that problem. It's not that easy because it's pretty deep, and this problem is rooted in the society that's involved a lot of layers of the society, and it is a historical problem. When you see something that is rooted in the society, like exclusion is in Brazil, because it comes from the past, has never been solved before, but they tried. 1991 was created a law that ensures the handicapped spot for the ones who need. In 2003 was created a law that ensures spots just for old people. And more than 10 years passed, and people are still doing parking the place that they cannot park. The three easiest way that I think can solve this problem is think, teach, and police. The easiest one is think. Thinking in what we're doing. If it can negatively affect the other in detriment of only your well-being. The second way is teaching the children to do not do that, the things that can affect the other's life. And the last but not the least is police their life and the others, because the police officer will never be everywhere to make sure that is everything okay. To conclude my talk, I tried to say that the fact that exclusion is in our life, and we cannot see that because it has become something of our culture. Another point is when we exclude someone in front of children, they will think that's the right thing to do, and we create a cycle that's really difficult to break. And to break it, we have to work together. Let's try to remember Charles Even Hughes. When we lost the right to be different, we lost the privilege to be free. Thank you so much for the attention.